Hi and good afternoon everyone. Welcome back to Hansa Travels. Today I'm bringing you another edition from my series, everything that you've always wanted to know about the airlines. And today we are talking about the legacy airline called Delta. I think this is probably one of the most awaited for videos because out of all the legacy airlines and pretty much out of all the airlines in the world, I think Delta is rated like right up there. So without further ado, if you want to know everything that you could ever imagine about Delta, stay tuned. All right, so let's get started. I have my trusty notebook here. This one was the one that I actually used for my training when I was going through flight attendant training, and it has a lot of empty pages left. So I figured why not write down all the information right here so I have it all in one place. Okay, so today's topic is Delta, and we're gonna delve into all the details about it. Again, this is information that I have gathered myself from the internet. A disclaimer, I do not work for Delta. I am not a representative of Delta, and I am not a spokesperson of Delta. So this is all information that I have gathered myself using the World Wide Web. So without further ado, let's get started, guys. So one of the main questions people always have is how much do they pay to be a flight attendant? Okay, so Delta is by far one of the highest paid airlines. They start you off at $27.25 an flight hour. And although their website does say that the average flight attendant will make around $25,000 their first year. So, and that is right in Delta's website as far as like information. So the flight pay is $27.25. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit more into other ways that you can get paid with Delta. If you are the international flight leader, you will get an extra $5.65 an hour. If you're the domestic purser, you will make an extra $2.70 through $3.20 depending on the aircraft that you're flying that day. So obviously larger aircrafts, you're going to earn just a little bit more money. Let's see, you can also make extra money being a qualified language speaker. That will get you an extra $1.80 per hour. If you have a short crew, which means that you're missing a crew member, you will get an extra $7.25 per hour for each of the flight attendants that are there. We'll get an extra $7.25 an hour. Per diem for domestic is $2.20 an hour, and if you're flying international, is $2.70. So that is your per diem. Remember, per diem is money that you're earning from the moment you check into your base until the moment you return to your base. So depending on how many days there are, if you're working a 2-day trip, that's 48 hours times 220, for example. Now, their reserve pay is some airlines guarantee per month, like 72 hours minimum per month that you're going to get paid. They pay $4.45 per day. I didn't do the math on this, so I'm not sure exactly what the equivalent is for the month. If you already know, leave it in the comments down below. Let's help each other out. Having said that, guys, Delta has a really great option where some airlines limit the amount of hours that you can actually pick up per month. There's like a maximum amount of hours that you can actually pick up. Delta doesn't have that. Either for line holders and for reserves, you are allowed to pick up as many trips as you want. I guess as long as you're within your rest periods. You don't want to be illegal. You can't just fly, 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 fly. You need to have your minimum hours of rest between shifts, and also between, you know, however many days straight you fly. Most airlines have the 24/7, which means you need at least 24 hours of rest every 7 days that you're working, you know, straight in a row. So that's pretty good, guys, because technically you could pick up as many hours as you want as long as you're within your limitations. So that's pretty awesome. There is no limit on that. And there's no limit for reserves or for line holders. So your days off. There is a minimum of 10 days off that you'll get every single month, whether you are reserve or you have a line. So the minimum guaranteed is 10. Okay, so check-in times. Now, check-in times differ depending on the flight that you're going to, the flight sequence for that day. Your minimum call-in time, once they call you, you have to report to your flight, is 1 hour. And the maximum is up to 2 hours, depending on the international flight. It says for select international flights. So once you know that you have a trip, you have to be at the airport either 1 or 2 hours ahead of the flight time for your flight. Now, in the airline industry, there are a set amount of hours that you can be scheduled to work and or work throughout that it would make you illegal. That's why you hear sometimes that, oh, we've timed out, we had to, like, we couldn't continue working. This is what this entails. So for domestic flights, you are only allowed, the company is only allowed to schedule you for up to a 13-hour day. So your days are never going to be scheduled more than 13 hours for a flight. However, because of unforeseen circumstances like mechanicals and weather and delays or whatever, tarmac, air traffic control delays, whatever the case may be, your day can be extended to 15 hours for a work day. And this is for a domestic flight. So for example, let's say they scheduled you for a 13-hour day. That's the maximum they can schedule you. But something happens and now you take a delay. You have up to 15 hours to work. Now, if the delay is going to cause you to be at work for more than 15 hours, then that is when they have to stop working and they have to replace that crew with a different crew. So that's where airport reserves and reserves come into place, is when they need to replace you because you are timed out for the day and you are no longer allowed to work because obviously you're fatigued and you want to make sure that you are alert. And so, you know, that's why the law is there. Some companies, you know, defer on that. For example, my company right now, they can schedule you up to 14 and they can work you up to 16 hours for a whole day. So it depends. Now, for Delta, those are the hours that you are scheduled for 13. You can only work a maximum of 15 hours per day. Those are domestic hours. For international flights, because it's longer distances, there is a slight variation on that. I didn't write it down, but it's slightly a couple more hours that you are scheduled to, and also that is the maximum. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but that's the best way I can explain it. They can only schedule you a certain amount of hours, but if there's a delay, you can be extended for just a little bit more. But it's 13 and 15 for domestic flights. Vacation time. All right. So the 1st through 4th year, you will get 14 days of vacation. 5 through 10 years is 21 days of vacation. If you're at 11 years or more, you'll get 28 days. And if you're 18 years with the company or more, then you'll get at least 35 days a month. for the year for your vacation time. So it depends on how long you've been with a company, but at least your first year and on, you will get at least 14 days of vacation time every single year. Now the probation period is for 6 months. So once you are hired, you're still going through probation for your first 6 months. Uniforms, the company pays for your uniforms. Yeah, that is awesome, guys, because a lot of times uniforms can cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So if the company is paying for your uniform, that's even better. And they have a catalog of uniforms. So they have different styles and dresses and pants and skirts and different colors and all kinds of good stuff. So it's up to you. I'm sure they give you a certain amount that they're giving to you to spend. So let's say that they're giving you, let's just say $500. So you have that budget of $500 and you go through the catalog and you choose whatever it is that you would like to purchase. Now let's delve into a little bit of the training. Now the training is for 8 weeks. That's 2 whole months, and it's going to be in their main hub, which is Atlanta, Georgia. And is the training paid? Yeah. I've been saying it, guys. This is one of the very few companies that actually pays you to go to training. Now, I went online and I went to Delta's website, and it does not specify the amount. Right there where you can see all the information, it doesn't specify the amount. It just says that you're getting training pay. What that is, I don't know. But during these 8 weeks that you're going to be in training, they are putting you up. Obviously, so room and board is taken care of, and some meals, it said, are taken care of, and obviously you're going to get your pay during training. So thumbs up on that one, guys. I think that's probably one of the reasons why Delta is one of the main airlines that so many people want. In fact, it is a fact that out of all the applicants that Delta gets, all the applications they get every month, every year, only 1% of those people that apply to Delta actually get hired. So, yeah, if you think you want to work for Delta, good luck. I know there's flight attendants out there that have vlogs and they applied to Delta and they got it. And, you know, one of my favorite YouTubers that is an employee for Delta is the Pretty Passenger, Ashley. She got in and the first time she applied, I believe. And so that's awesome. And there's another one called Fierceness. And so it happens, guys. There's some people that just have that luck and they apply, and the first time they apply, they get it. But don't be discouraged if Delta is your main airline that it's like, that's it. That's your end all be all. That's who you want to work for. Make sure you, don't give up. Every 6 months after you apply, if you don't get in, you can reapply 6 months later. But yeah, only 1% of the hundreds of thousands of people that apply to Delta actually get it. So fingers crossed, if that's what you're looking for and that's what you want, best of luck to you. All right, now let's talk about the requirements. If you would like to work for Delta, you have to be at least 21 years of age by January 1st, 2018. So if you're applying, let's say right now, by January of 2018, you have to be at least 21 years of age. And I believe the reason for that is because you do serve alcohol on board, and so you have to be able to handle the alcohol. So you have to be either a high school graduate or you have to have your GED at least. They will drug test you, And you will also go through a government background check, which is an FBI background check. Most companies do up to 10 years back. So make sure you are A-okay on that front right there. Now, you also have to be physically able to do the job and physically fit enough to fit in the jump seats. So our jobs are very physical. You have to be able to push, pull, lift, bend, do all kinds of stuff, you know, physically. And then also the jump seats, you know, they have the harnesses and the seat belts. So you just have to make sure that you are physically able to fit in the jump seats. I suggest that if you're kind of curious about that, look at, you know, look at the flight attendants when you're traveling, if you do a lot of flying or not. Go on YouTube and look at flight attendants that have vlogs out there and see, you know, gauge where you are in comparison to other flight attendants. But so yeah, so those are the requirements. And then I found on their website a little tidbit on what can give you a leg up. So if you want to be with Delta, if you want to get hired, you have a leg up if you have a background in these types of careers. So let me just read them to you. Teachers, military, EMTs, firefighters, coaches, law enforcement, so like police, lifeguard, nurses, if you were in the Peace Corps, etc., etc. So any of these things, if you are in your background, if you've done them before and you have experience in any of these things, and language speakers as well, because they're always looking for people that speak more than one language, then you have a leg up. So if you have a background in any of these things and you want to work for Delta, you're probably going to be considered, you know, a lot more than somebody that doesn't have any of these qualities. So that's good to know, guys. You know, if you're young, let's say you're 18, for example, and you know that when you turn 21, you want to be a flight attendant. Hey, how about getting a job in one of these things, one of those areas, so that you have that in your resume, and then when you are of age and you're ready to apply to Delta, then it can have a leg up on your competition. All right, so Delta Airlines has a lot of bases, so I'm just gonna read them to you in alphabetical order. You have Amsterdam, Atlanta, which is their main hub here in the US, Boston, Cincinnati, Detroit, Michigan, London, Heathrow, LA, Minneapolis, St. Paul, New York, which includes JFK and LaGuardia, Paris, Salt Lake City, Seattle, and Tokyo. This is what I gathered from the internet. So if there's any other bases that have been added since, I guess that information was posted, make sure you leave in the comments down below. Again, thank you for joining me one more time, guys. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure you subscribe so that you can get videos like this and also videos about my everyday flights that I get all the time, and hit the notification so that you know exactly when I upload. I want to thank each and every single one of you for tuning in one more time, and for watching, and for subscribing. Huge hugs and kisses from my house to your house. Until next time, bye!